So I'm down here on the headland of Peel overlooking the harbour with me, MLC Tim Crookall, and it's about this very harbour we're going to be talking about. I mean, it seems to have gone on forever, but you're still concerned that nothing seems to be happening about the silt issue.
Yeah, very concerned, Paul. I mean, here we are, an absolutely stunning day, just coming up to TT. Beginning of April, Tim Moulton asked Minister Harmer for an update on the harbour, and he said they were hoping to get some work done this year with regarding the silt, possibly have 12,000 tonnes taken out this year. We now know that certainly before summer there's going to be nothing coming out of here. You can see there behind me some of the boats that are starting to come in for TT. You know, over the winter period the harbour has been basically 25 to 30% empty. You know, and that's not just boats being taken out. There's supposed to be a waiting list, but people aren't using the marina, and I think a lot of it is to do with the silt. There's a huge issue here, and in the meantime they're now giving 75% refunds to some of the boat owners, quite rightly too, because the state of the harbour, but government is losing out.
It was such a good news story, this thing, that's gone disastrously wrong, and it hasn't just been under Mr Harmer's watch either, has it?
Absolutely not. This has been going on for years, and 11 or 12 years ago this marina was opened. It cost us £6 million, and it's now going to cost somewhere between £3 to £5 million to dredge this harbour, take the silt out, and then take it up to maybe Foxdale and to sort this issue, and also stop it coming down the river in future.
You say maybe to Foxdale. Nobody else wants this stuff either. That's another issue in itself.
Well, nobody wants it, and they haven't got planning permission for it yet, so it's not sure, we're not sure where it's going to go, and you've got the silt that was taken out. So they haven't got planning permissions.
I mean, nothing's going to happen for age then, because planning permission itself could take some time, right?
To be fair though, I mean, the silt is going to be taken out, it's going to be dewatered, and then it'll be taken to wherever. But you've still got the silt as well that was taken out years ago and put at Rock Mount, which has to be moved by next year.
Is that still there?
Yeah, and that was there for 5 years, so that has to come out next year.
Is there any other fix besides the general suggestion of doing what you're doing, and then won't it be an ongoing process?
Well, 18 months ago the DOI, Mrs Reynolds, said that they had 3 options of what to do with it, and the option that we've heard is they're going to now take it out by digger, put it in the lagoon, dewater it, and then take it up to Foxdale, up to the mines there, and reuse it up there. And that's the only option, because they say they can't take it out to sea.
But you had this positive information, what you said earlier, Timwell, in the year. So what's gone on? What happened that didn't happen, rather?
Contracts haven't been signed with either the workers, with the landowner, where the lagoon is going, and it's just been one thing after another, so it's stalled. And you can understand why the local harbour users are getting really fed up with this. It's one thing after another, and 4,000 tonnes a year coming down the river, adding to it. We've got anywhere between sort of 30 and 45,000 tonnes of silt that needs to come out of here. If you equate that to 20 tonnes in a wagon, if it's 40,000 tonnes, 20 tonnes in a wagon, that's 4,000 wagon loads that are going to end up going and then coming back for some more. It's a phenomenal amount of wagon trips.
As you mentioned, this is a government marina, right? It got paid for. If it had been in private hands, would this have even got this far, or would it be worse or better?
Of course it wouldn't. And there's been plans, and it's been tried over the last few years. They bought a boat from Milford Haven, which was going to dredge under the pontoons and all sorts. That's now sitting on a trailer somewhere doing nothing. They bought all the piping, because you'll remember a few years ago we tried to pipe it out off the end of the breakwater, and that was stopped. So they've tried a few options, but it's never worked. And it's getting worse and worse and worse, and we're still no closer to stopping it coming down the river.
Where's the buck stop on this one? Is it with DOI?
Oh yeah, it's DOI, but it's down to us to keep the pressure on them, myself and other people, and also the harbour users. Otherwise, you might as well just concrete across under the bridge and fill it in. Now,
nothing can happen now for most of summer, because you've got all sorts of things breeding and the wildlife are doing things. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. They had up until the end of May to do anything before the summer. They haven't done. They can't do now. Unless they get special permission from DEFA, which I doubt they'll get this time of year. It's busy period, so we don't want anybody sort of working in the harbour, although it needs doing. So now it's the back end of the summer before anything else is likely to happen.
And the price tag must keep going up, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it will do. And as I said, they started originally at £3 to £4 million, and I think by the time you take in the Foxdale works, it's going to be nearer £5 million. And in the meantime, at some stage, it's going to have to go up there into the fields behind the power station, and then have all the water drain out, and then take it all up to Foxdale. Well,
you pointed out to me that quite a lot of these boats, ships, whatever, are sort of hitting the ground twice a day, and it's only worse. There comes a point when a lot of these vessels won't be able to get in or out, I suppose.
Well, it will get to that if you're not careful, but yeah, certainly. I mean, the harbour is supposed to be a marina of 2.5 metres, from one end to the other. in which case none of them should be touching the bottom. But you'll see there's a fishing boat across the way there, which is always on the water, very close to the bottom, and spends very little time off the bottom. That just shouldn't happen. And there will be people that look at the depth here and go, do you know what, I'm not going to risk it with my boat. The fine boat sitting there worth probably £1 million plus. He's risked it and come in, and there's usually 2 of those come in. Hopefully the other one will come in. But you just wonder why people will take that, if they will take that risk.
And you're saying they're getting rebates anyway, are they? So the government's losing some cash here.
The owners, the local owners who were moored here for the whole year, are now, the bigger boats are now getting 75% rebate.
Right.
So if they're paying £2,000 a year, or should be, they're only paying £500. So it's easy to do the maths on that. Government is losing out £1,500 on every yacht.
So you're going to keep the pressure on anyway.
Yeah, we absolutely need to keep, for the harbour users and and for the visitors.
More questions, or is it just simply now you ask the questions, you need the answers?
There will be more questions because they keep making the promises that it's going to happen, and it's not happening. And I know it doesn't happen overnight, but we've been struggling on this one for years and years and years, and it's only going to get worse. And it's not fair to the locals, to the visitors, and it just shouldn't be. We promise things. It's printed in books every year that Peel Marina is 2.5 metres, and it's not. And if anybody comes in here and damages the boat, you know where the claim's going. Government.